Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! Tatum adjusted the collar of his crisp white shirt, feeling the subtle tug of the pink satin bra straps beneath. His brown hair, neatly combed back, caught the fluorescent lights of O'Hare International Airport as he shuffled forward in the security line. For years, he had indulged in crossdressing in the privacy of his apartment, a secret ritual that brought a fleeting sense of peace amid the chaos of his corporate job. But today marked a bold step, wearing women's lingerie under his masculine business suit for a cross-country flight. The thought had thrilled him at first, a hidden rebellion against the monotony of his life. But now, as the full-body scanner loomed ahead, anxiety knotted his stomach. The line moved steadily, passengers emptying pockets and removing shoes. Tatum's heart raced. What if the scanner picked up the unusual shapes? He imagined the contours of the bra's underwire and the smooth lines of the matching panties showing up on the screen like a glaring anomaly. A TSA agent, a stern-faced man with a badge gleaming on his uniform, waved him forward.
"Step through, sir. Arms up, feet on the marks."
Tatum complied, holding his breath as the machine whirred to life. The seconds stretched into eternity. On the other side, he exhaled, but his relief was short-lived. Another agent, a woman with a no-nonsense ponytail, glanced at the monitor and then at him.
"Sir, please step aside for additional screening."
Mortification burned in his cheeks as he was led to a partitioned area. The female officer approached, her voice low and professional.
"We detected some irregularities. Do you have anything under your clothing that might explain this, like medical devices or undergarments?"
Tatum's mind blanked. He stammered. But the truth tumbled out in a whisper. "It's lingerie, pink satin bra, and panties." She nodded without judgment, though her eyes softened slightly. "All right, we'll need to pat down to confirm."
"This is standard procedure."
The pat-down was quick and discreet, but the exposure felt like a spotlight on his deepest secret. As he gathered his belongings and hurried to his gate, the incident replayed in his mind. No longer could he hide behind layers of fabric and denial. This confrontation shattered the compartments he had built. By the time he boarded the plane, a name long whispered in his thoughts solidified. Hazel. She would live openly from now on. No turning back. The flight to Seattle was turbulent, both in the air and in her thoughts. Seated by the window, Hazel stared at the clouds, her suit jacket feeling like a cage. She had packed a small bag with essentials. Makeup, a wig she wouldn't need since her brown hair could be styled femininely, and a simple dress. But the decision crystallized mid-flight. Upon landing, she would change. No more Tatum. The man beside her, a chatty businessman, prattled on about stocks, oblivious to the transformation brewing. At SeaTac Airport, Hazel found a family restroom and locked the door. She shed the suit, folding it neatly into her carry-on. The pink lingerie remained, a foundation for the floral sundress she slipped over her head. She applied lipstick and mascara with trembling hands, letting her brown hair fall loose around her shoulders. Stepping out, she caught her reflection in a nearby mirror. Hazel, fully emerged. The city welcomed her with drizzling rain as she hailed a cab to her hotel. The driver, an older man with a kind smile, glanced back. "First time in Seattle, ma'am?" "Yes," Hazel replied, her voice soft but steady. "Starting fresh." Checked into her room at the downtown Marriott, she unpacked, hanging dresses and blouses in the closet. The business trip was for a conference on digital marketing, but now it felt secondary. She emailed her boss, explaining a personal matter that required her to present as her true self. To her surprise, the response was supportive. "Take care of yourself. We'll adapt." The next morning, Hazel dressed in a tailored skirt suit, feminine yet professional, her brown hair pinned up elegantly. At the conference center, heads turned, but she held her chin high. Colleagues from her firm approached, confusion etching their faces. "Tatum, is that you?" asked Sarah, a project manager with curly red hair. "It's Hazel now," she said firmly. "This is who I am." Sarah blinked, then smiled. "Well, Hazel, you look amazing. Let's grab coffee and talk." Over lattes in the lobby cafe, Sarah listened as Hazel shared fragments of her journey, the years of private exploration, the airport incident that pushed her over the edge. "I couldn't keep pretending," Hazel confessed. "It was like living in two worlds, and they finally collided." Sarah nodded empathetically. "I'm here for you. If anyone gives you trouble, they've got me to deal with." The conference sessions blurred into discussions on SEO strategies and social media trends, but Hazel's mind wandered to the future. During a breakout panel, she volunteered a question, her voice carrying with newfound confidence. Attendees whispered, but she focused on the content, jotting notes in a floral notebook. Lunch brought more interactions. A vendor named Alex, tall with glasses, struck up a conversation at the buffet. "Impressive question earlier. I'm Alex, from Tech Innovations." "Hazel," she replied, shaking his hand. Their chat flowed easily, touching on industry shifts and personal anecdotes. Alex mentioned his own move to Seattle years ago, seeking a new start after a divorce. As the day wound down, Hazel attended a networking mixer. Sipping sparkling water, she mingled with ease, her brown hair catching the warm lighting. A woman named Lena, with sharp features and a power suit, introduced herself. "I saw you in the panel. Bold move. Coming out like that in a professional setting?" Hazel smiled. "It wasn't planned, but it felt right." Lena shared her story of transitioning in the tech world a decade prior. "The first few months are tough, but you build resilience. If you need advice on HR stuff or support groups, hit me up." Grateful, Hazel exchanged contact info. Back in her hotel room that evening, she reflected on the day's victories. No one had been overtly hostile. Curiosity, yes, but acceptance too. She ordered room service, a salmon salad, and ate while browsing online forums for trans women, finding communities that echoed her experiences. The following day, the conference delved into workshops. Hazel joined one on content creation, partnering with a group for a mock campaign. Her ideas shone, drawing praise from the facilitator. "Hazel, your perspective is fresh," he said. Emboldened, she texted her family back in Chicago. Her sister, Emily, responded immediately. "Tatum? Wait, Hazel! Oh my God, call me!" The call was emotional. Emily cried happy tears. "I've suspected something for years. I'm so proud of you, sis." Their parents would need time, Emily warned, but promised to help bridge that gap. Hazel hung up, feeling lighter, her brown hair tousled from pacing the room. Exploring Seattle after sessions, Hazel wandered Pike Place Market. The bustle of vendors and tourists invigorated her. She bought fresh flowers for her room and a necklace with a delicate pendant, symbolizing rebirth. A street musician played a soulful tune on guitar, and she dropped a few dollars in his case, swaying to the melody. Dinner that night was at a cozy Italian restaurant with Sarah and Alex, who had become fast friends. They laughed over pasta, sharing stories. Alex admitted, "I admire your courage, Hazel. It's inspiring." Blushing, she replied, "It's just the beginning." Back at the hotel, she prepared for the final conference day. A keynote speaker discussed inclusivity in the workplace, and Hazel felt seen. Applause filled the auditorium as the speaker highlighted stories like hers. Post-conference, Hazel extended her stay, deciding to explore more. She visited the Space Needle, ascending to the observation deck. Wind whipped her skirt as she gazed at the cityscape, her brown hair fluttering. A tourist family smiled at her, and she returned it, feeling integrated into the world. Meeting Lena for coffee, they discussed practicalities, name changes, therapy options. Lena introduced her to a local support group via video call. "You're not alone," Lena assured. Hazel's job adapted seamlessly. Virtual meetings now featured her as Hazel, and her team sent encouraging messages. One colleague, Mark, even shared resources on allyship. Venturing further, Hazel hiked in nearby parks, her athletic wear feminine and functional, leggings and a tunic top. The trails offered solitude, where she pondered her path. Birds chirped, streams bubbled, mirroring her inner calm. Socially, she attended a book club Lena recommended, discussing novels with a diverse group. Her insights on character development impressed them, and invitations for future meetups followed. One evening, Alex invited her to a jazz club. The music pulsed through the dim venue as they chatted over mocktails.
"Tell me more about your life before,"
he said gently. Hazel opened up about the airport catalyst, the mortification turning to empowerment. Alex listened intently, his eyes warm. As weeks turned to a month, Hazel considered relocating permanently. Seattle's progressive vibe suited her. She apartment hunted, viewing cozy units with views of Puget Sound. One, with a balcony and modern kitchen, felt like home. Furnishing it became an adventure, picking out curtains, bedding in soft pastels. Her brown hair reflected in store mirrors as she tried on home decor accents. Work promoted her to a senior role, recognizing her innovative ideas. In meetings, she advocated for diversity training, her voice authoritative. Friendships deepened. Sarah visited from Chicago, and they explored the city together, laughing at old memories reframed through Hazel's new lens. Emily flew out too, hugging her tightly at the airport. "You look so happy, Hazel." They spent days sightseeing, bonding over shared secrets. Emily helped with wardrobe additions, ensuring everything flattered Hazel's figure. Romantic sparks with Alex grew. A picnic in Discovery Park led to a gentle kiss under the trees, her brown hair mingling with the breeze. Challenges arose, a misgendering at a store quickly corrected, or doubts on tough days. But therapy sessions, recommended by Lena, provided tools to navigate them. Hazel volunteered at a local LGBTQ center, mentoring others on their journeys. Sharing her story inspired a young trans woman named Riley, who thanked her profusely. Holidays approached, and Hazel hosted a small gathering, friends, Alex, and Emily, via video. The table overflowed with dishes she prepared, laughter echoing. As winter set in, snow dusted the streets. Hazel bundled in a stylish coat and scarf, her brown hair peeking from a knit hat. She ice skated at a rink, gliding with grace, Alex by her side. Professional growth continued with a speaking engagement at a smaller conference. She presented on personal branding, weaving in her transition tale to illustrate authenticity. Audience questions poured in, supportive and curious. One attendee approached afterward. "Your story gives me hope." Back home, Hazel journaled nightly, chronicling triumphs and setbacks. Her brown hair, now styled in soft waves, framed her face as she wrote by lamplight. A weekend retreat with the support group fostered deeper connections. Around a campfire, stories flowed. Struggles, joys. Hazel felt a profound sense of belonging. Alex proposed a trip to the coast. They drove along winding roads, stopping at beaches where waves crashed. Hand in hand, they watched sunsets, her dress billowing in the salt air. Returning, Hazel faced a family reunion. Parents arrived hesitantly, but conversations bridged gaps. Her father, tearful, said, "We're learning, Hazel. We love you." The visit ended positively, with promises of more. Career-wise, she launched a side project, a blog on inclusive marketing, gaining followers quickly. Posts detailed her experiences, resonating widely. Socially, she joined a yoga class, flowing through poses in leggings and a tank top, her brown hair tied back. The instructor praised her form, and classmates became acquaintances. One night, a storm knocked out power. Alex came over with candles and board games. They talked for hours, deepening their bond. As spring bloomed, Hazel planted a garden on her balcony, flowers mirroring her vibrant life. She tended them daily, watching growth parallel her own. A promotion to department head came unexpectedly. Celebrating with friends at a rooftop bar, toasts rang out. "To Hazel! Unbreakable!" Travel for work took her to New York. Dressed in a chic ensemble, she navigated the city confidently, her brown hair catching urban lights. Meetings went smoothly, and she explored museums, drawing inspiration from art depicting transformation. Back in Seattle, she mentored Riley more closely, helping with resume building and confidence tips. Summer brought festivals. At Pride, Hazel marched with friends, flags waving, her outfit colorful and affirming. Alex surprised her with tickets to a concert. The music swelled, and they danced, lost in the moment. Reflecting on the year since the airport, Hazel marveled at her evolution. No regrets, only forward momentum. Yet, as she stood on her balcony one evening, a mysterious letter arrived. Unsigned, hinting at someone from her past who knew her secret before the change. Who could it be? And what did they want? Hope you enjoyed the story so far. The rest will be available on Patreon.